got to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up, and throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. It's Manhood Hour today, the last hour of the show. On Wednesdays is Manhood Hour. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. And don't forget, we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. If you're busy traveling, hiking, swimming, walking around, whatever, working out, and you can't sit and watch the show live, you can listen to it as you are doing what it is that you're doing on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to the social media stuff. Follow us. Hit the like button, ring the bell, and blah, blah, blah. And we're on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, where you got to know how to rumble. And cozy.tv/JLP. All right. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. You guys don't want to turn down. Oh, thank you. Buy me a coffee.
I'm learning how to use it too.
Oh, okay. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Rebuildingtheman.com or Bond JLP Cash App. All right? My brand new biblical question for this week. The brand new biblical question. Why are you afraid of negotiating? Why are you afraid of negotiating? That's the biblical question. Why? Why are you afraid of negotiating? Amazing question. And very interesting responses to that. And I appreciate it. Some people are paying attention now to themselves. Most are not, and that is expected. Only a few will get on that straight and narrow path. Only a few will take that straight and narrow road. Most people will take that wide road that leads to destruction. They love their hell. They love their hell. Amazing, huh? So thanks to Hake and the other guys, for sitting in for me yesterday. I was out, as you know. I had to go. They did an amazing job, as usual. I had to go over to Texas, Austin, Texas. It was freezing cold. It was so cold, it made you want to slap your mama. It was so cold. But it went well. It was an amazing trip. Very, very amazing trip. I was a guest on Your Mama's House, which Tom Segura and his wife Christina. Tom Segura and his wife Christina. Your Mama's House. I mean, your mom's house, not mama, but your mom's house. And it's going to be airing next Wednesday, the 24th. It was an amazing trip. And from what I can tell, it went well. The discussion was amazing. Very interesting. And so I appreciate Your Mom's House and Tom Segura for having me on. It was amazing. So we'll remind you next Wednesday, the 24th, it is due to air. It was so interesting traveling this time, too. Things have really changed in traveling. It's amazing how overnight it seems, though this stuff been in the making for a long time, but overnight things just changed. Though it's been in the making for years. It just seemed as though overnight it changed, but it's like slowly drip, 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 drip changes were happening. And I don't think a lot of people realized that things were changing. But it was interesting flying. I remember when flying used to be classy. It was a big deal. You would dress up to fly. You would, it was like a major deal. Now it's like taking a bus. People wear their pajamas. It doesn't even matter anymore. It's crazy how that is now. Flying is no longer classy. It's like riding a bus. But it was amazing to see how things really are in flying now. It has changed. So we went on Delta Airline, and I had no idea that. I knew that their airlines were bringing in people simply because of their color and gender, and they don't have to be qualified anymore. They just have to be of color, and predominantly black color, but they throw in a few other colors too to make the black people feel better. But it was a mess. So I didn't know that a lot of things about Delta. We have heard about United and Alaskan Airlines, other airlines. But I guess all these airlines are doing the same thing, which is a great risk to our lives. Can you imagine that these people are putting unqualified people to fly planes, air traffic control, all because they are too afraid to say no to them? And I was thinking about that this morning. The people who are enforcing these things, they probably, most, if not all, most of them fly in private jets. They don't have to worry about the mess at the airport. Isn't that amazing? They just make it difficult for you. But for themselves, it's fine. According to the viewfromthewings.com, everywhere in social media, Delta Airlines is getting roasted for a documentary purporting to instruct that black and brown should be capitalized while white should use lower cases. How are you going to make black and brown capitalized and put white lowercase?
Race and ethnicity. Style note. Capitalize black and brown in Delta Communications. Unlike black or brown, white should be lowercase.
That's amazing. That is mind-blowing. imagine what would have happened if they said capitalize white and put black and brown in lower cases. What do you think would be happening right now?
When referencing race, ethnicity, or nationality, be as specific as possible.
Amazing. Fear. What a mess. If that was the other way around, it would be a different story. And they put these black females in the cabin to fly the plane. Can you imagine that? It's the same way that they put that black female on the U.S. Supreme Courts, not because she's qualified, but because she was black and a female. And they know that it's a bad idea, but they're using the black female to usher in evil. It comes through the woman. And they're using her for that. That's mind-blowing. I want you to check this out from X. They say, what's beeping? And they have these two black females in the cockpit. And they're like, we ain't hear no beeping. We ain't hear. They're in the cockpit, right? And someone says, what's beeping? We ain't hear no beeping. Oh, my God. We ain't hear no beeping. They're headed toward the ground now. You see that? The plane going down, and the plane is beeping. They ain't hear no beeping. It's like having the blacks over in the wash towel thing there. And I'm coming in to land. Which aisle should I use? Which runway? Let me go look out the window and see. I can't read this board. Look like you can come in on the west. I don't see another plane right now. And they go landing in, and now they're about to crash on another plane. Oh, Lord, baby, not that lane. Plane going out, and it's beep, 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 beep. I don't hear no beeping. What a mess. Look at this guy, Lord Austin, whatever his name is, the black guy that's over the military. The military is a mess right now. And he off sick somewhere in the hospital and didn't tell anyone, according to the report. At least didn't tell the person that's supposed to take over when he is not around. They didn't tell the president. And he like, Lord, y'all putting these blacks in charge of your country. It's only going to get worse. So I was on the airplane, my producer and I, Sean. We get on the airplane, sitting there waiting for them to close the door, let people in and close the door. And lo and behold, a black female pilot came out of the little cockpit thing, standing there at the door, talking with the stewardess. I'm like, so I happened to look up. I'm like, what the? We got a black female pilot? And so when the flight attendant came by down the aisle, I asked her, I said, do we have a black female pilot? She's like, yes. I'm like, what the? And she was like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong? I'm like, you know, female can't fly no airplane. And she started laughing. And then she went and told the other flight attendant, a black male flight attendant. He came back and I asked him the same thing. Well, he asked me that I had concern. I'm like, yeah, they got a black female pilot. And he was like, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, yes, it is. Is she qualified? I asked him, was she one of those affirmative action pilot or what? And then they went and told her what I said. I was like, and they brought me a little card. They went and told her what I said. And so they brought me a little card. They said, here, she told me to give you this. It was like this, right? A little card. I'm like, what that? And so I looked at it, and he said that, oh, just information about Delta flight. I'm like, oh, okay. And so I kept it. Here it is. And so the flight went on, and but the good thing about it, they said she had there was a white male pilot in there as well. And I'm like, phew. Lord, we have a chance to make it. It was a crack up. We were cracking up, man. It was funny. And so when we got to Austin, Texas, we get it off the plane, and the black female pilot came out again because they said, oh, the pilot want to meet you. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm walking by, she's standing there at the door, and she introduced herself, and I introduced myself. And lo and behold, because she was speaking kind of low, she sounded like an African, like a foreigner. And she looked like a foreigner because she's like real black. You know, that shiny African black like stuff. She looked like that. So she looked and sounded like a foreigner. And so I asked her, she introduced herself, I introduced myself. And I asked her, are you affirmative action pilot? And she mumbled something. I couldn't understand what she was saying. So we agreed, and then I went on my way. It was an interesting thing. I'm like, Lord have mercy. What is this world coming to? They are now putting our lives at risk in the airways, in the air, in the sky, because they're trying to please the people of color. Remember when it used to be just black? And then all of a sudden they started imposing the Mexicans in their mess. And now they call it black and brown and just roll off your tongue now. Black and brown. The Mexicans don't want to be amongst that mess. Those are the Mexican leaders that are trying to make it be black and brown because they have a hidden personal agenda as well. But the skyways ain't safe no more. All because of diversity. Not the best qualified, man, but diversity. It was funny, and yet not funny. But it was funny, and yet not funny. And so we went, we had a good time. Everything went very well. Coming back, I'm walking through the airport here in L.A., and lo and behold, there's this woman with two children, a girl and a boy. The boy looked younger than the girl. And guess what? She had him on a leash. Can you imagine putting your child on a leash? And Sean and I were cracking up when we saw that because the boy was trying to walk away and she snatched him back on the leash. And Sean said, my producer, taking the dogs off the leash and putting the children on a leash. And I said to him, I wonder, will he ever get over that trauma of growing up on a leash? The children growing up on a leash. They love the dogs better than they love their children, humans, right? Human beings. They take the dog off the leash and they put the child or children on the leash, treating them like a dog. Who let the dogs out? I told you mothers don't love children anymore. They treat them worse than they treat the animals. Worse than they treat the animals. And I have seen that before, but I kind of forgot it. I hadn't seen it in a minute. But this woman had this son on a leash. I wonder will he spend the rest of his life traumatized, believing that life is about being on a leash. This is from fatherly.com. A child leash. If you accidentally pull back too hard on the leash, your child could fall and get hurt. If the leash get wrapped around their neck, it could be a choking hazard. It's important to say if their use damage a child's psychics. Watch this from ABC. These are children. There's no sound to it. So right now they're not playing the sound. I don't know why. But
You're doing it.
A father to 3 and
Start it
grandfather
over.
to 6
Start it
says
over.
he's used one too at a crowded theme park.
I think they could be very useful and make things safer.
Little Sienna's dad says he's never used one. These photos recently posted at parenting blogging site mom.me, busting a hot button conversation wide open. Kids on leashes, good parenting or bad behavior?
It has its pros and cons.
Mixed reaction from Tampa parents we talked to at Al Lopez Park, where we didn't find a single kid on a leash. This mom of 2 says she's used one in the past on her nieces and nephews.
I personally felt weird doing it.
A father to 3 and grandfather to 6 says he's used one too at a crowded theme park.
I think they could be very useful and make things safer.
Little Sienna's dad says he's never used one, but that could change.
Thought it was goofy at first before I had a kid, but then realizing now that she's walking a whole lot faster and probably doesn't understand the whole concept of traffic yet, I'm not completely opposed to it, I would say.
It trains children to think that there's always kind of somebody else kind of in charge, pulling them, so they don't learn to look at things from an independent perspective.
Wow, that's right. Take away their independence. And the men are doing exactly what the women do. Instead of saying no, they're doing it as well. And you leave these women to themselves, they come up with all kind of evil mess like this. Putting the children on leashes like they are animals. Putting the children on a leash like animals. See what your mother would do to you and your weak father would allow to happen? That's evil. Any parents that put children or your child on a leash is evil. You're just evil. Can you imagine that? She doesn't want them to be independent. Take that away. And they'll grow up, become adults, and become very insecure and not independent. And that's what the mother wants. That's what the mother wants. What a mess. So you still happy that the females are you're giving over the country to the females? Everything is going to the doghouse. They're treating human beings like animals and treating animals like human beings. This is the Old Testament in operation like I've never seen before. And it's going to get worse Because you say, oh, the female need to take over the country. You see what happening? Your child going on a leash. They don't want the child to be independent, to grow up with the idea of being free. All of a sudden, that weak beta male, oh, well, they may not have the concept of traffic. We've always had traffic, dummy. Amazing. So there was a slip up there on the soundbite. We are, as I told you a while back, we were buying new equipment and replacing the old with the new. So you may see that for a minute because they are. We're trying out our new equipment, so we got to get used to it. All right, so that's what's going on. That's what's going on. All right? Amazing. I can't get past that. How can your heart be so wicked that you treat your children like animals and treat the animals like people, human beings, better than your own children? They putting kids on a leash. And the parents, the fathers, allow it to happen because they're so weak, they can't deal with the mother of the children, of his own children. So they let the children be trained as dogs, as animals. And they will be traumatized because they're going to be accustomed to something pulling them back and keep them from freely moving about or thinking clearly. And you know who they're going to blame? The men. They won't blame the woman for it. They're going to blame the men. Female pilot, untrained, untaught. Amazing. What a mess. 888-7753-773. We're going to get to your calls. I would suggest, do what you want, of course. I would suggest that you become your own independent person. Let's go back to the good old days when you were an independent, free-thinking person. Because these people with degrees and intellectuals are evil. The intellect is evil, and they will give you all the wrong advice. Because most people are not thinking for themselves anymore. They have given up free thinking, and they're on a leash. Putting the kids on a leash. They treat human beings like dogs and dogs like human beings. Amazing. When I come back, I have an example of that. And this is what happened when men are weak and allow the females to take over in the home, in the schools, in the government, in the corporate world, anywhere, military. This is what happened. They have all the wrong people in the right places to make sure that my country never come back again. It never will be right again. Isn't that something? Amazing. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
I look out across the water, I smell the salt, I feel the breeze, but in my heart I hear the calling of my old home, Tennessee. We don't know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, but I've still got Tennessee on my mind. From Reaper's Fork to Watertown, and maybe Johnson City.
Okay, welcome back. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake, H-A-K-E report from 9 to 11. And at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Joel Friday TV. He back. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Amazing. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. At 12 noon, On Fire. Energy from God. At 12 noon Pacific time. So busy day. And for personalized shout outs, go to Cameo for personal shout out. Birthday shout outs, wedding anniversaries, congratulations, encouragement, whatever. Go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And so I was telling you, and by the way, we have a,
Give us a second.
we have a brand new episode of The Fallen State coming up this Friday, if the Lord is willing and the creek no rise. By the way, there's one line open if someone want to jump in there. 888-773-773. 888-77-Jesse.
Okay, I think we can try, Jesse. Sorry. I don't know.
Okay, so again, we're putting it in new equipment. We're testing it now, so be patient. I had an amazing conversation with Larry Elder, and he is a New York Times best-selling author, award-winning documentary filmmaker, and one of the best-known media figures in America today. Watch this. The sage of South Central Los Angeles, Larry Elder.
The LA Times called me the black face of white supremacy.
I was going to ask you that.
I worked hard for that title.
Yeah.
I've been called an Uncle Tom, bootlicking Uncle Tom, foot shuffling, bootlicking Uncle Tom. The thing I've rarely been called is wrong.
And so a lot of guys don't know how to deal with women today.
I'm not sure you're asking the right guy, because I've never had a problem.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem.
Right.
No matter what your circumstances are, pick up your cards and you deal them to the best of your ability. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Amazing. This Friday at 12 noon Pacific time. Amazing. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to like it. It was deep. Larry also ran for governor of California and president of the United States of America, putting the country first. So another thing that happened on the plane, we landed in Los Angeles, and you know how they pull up to the gate and they tell everyone to sit down, don't get up yet, even though we just hit the ground, we don't get up until we get to the gate. So we got to the gate, and they opened up the door and told people, okay, y'all can get off. And out of nowhere, some black guy ran from the back up to the front. I guess he was trying to rush to get off. And there was a black woman sitting right in front of us. And so he looked over, he saw her sitting there. Even though he was pushing through the crowd, he said to her, black queen, I'll wait and let you out first. You're the queen. You're the black queen. You know, the black man got to treat the black woman, the black queen right. All you could do to that was shake your head. So you pull back a little bit and let the black queen go first. He didn't know her or anything, but she was black and she's the queen. Now do you see why not all, but most black women are out of control? The black men do not correct them at all. They call them queen. They call the devil queen. Black queen, I'll let you out first. I'm like, Lord, have mercy upon the blacks. Not all, but most. Have mercy.
My name is Noah, and my name...
Have mercy upon the blacks. What a mess. God in Christ, Christ in man, God in Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, woman over children. Only that order is going to work, whether you're married or not. Men are the head of women. Though you're not acting like it, you're not doing it because you have not returned to the Father, so you have not overcome your mother, and you're afraid, but that's the order. Seek first the kingdom of God in his right way, and all will be added. All will be added. Ain't nothing else going to work but that. First thing first for men and women. Male and female. First thing first. All right. I was trying to play a soundbite, but they're setting up the new system.
Which soundbite? You ready?
We are.
Which?
Okay, I mentioned how, just to finish the story up, and then I get to your calls and super chats. I mentioned how I saw this woman in the airport here in L.A. with a leash on the little boy. And he was trying to run around like kids. You know, he was just being a little boy. She's snatching him back like a dog. How can you be that cruel, right? And then they treat the dogs better than the children. And they think they're getting love from a dog. Dog don't have love. That's inside of you feeling that way, and your mind telling you the dog is feeling that way about you. The dog don't feel that way about you at all. Zero. And they're telling you that the dogs are feeling that way so they can sell products. That's all this about. And they know that you're in a fallen state and you're going to think that the dog love you. So they put the kids on a leash and they make the dog free. This is from followlead.com. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. This is from Wall Street Journal. Again, human beings are treated like animals, little children. And when they grow up traumatized, they're going to blame the kids. They become drug addicts because they can't deal with life. They're angry. They're going to blame the kids. Instead of the mother and the weak fathers who are putting the children on a leash like an animal. Treating your own kids like animals. It's like sending them off every day to a public school. This is from the Wall Street Journal. To make their homes as cozy as possible, people are taking inspiration from their lazy pets. They're taking inspiration from their lazy pets. This holiday season, Pluffle, $499 human dog bed. Human dog bed. Topple many a wish list. Watch this from Shark Tank Production. Amazing. And they're making it sound so exciting because they're making money from it. They know that you're in a lower fallen state and that you're in an animal-like state. And they can take you out of your bed and put you on the floor. And you're going to do it. Especially if you're a female. Take you out of the comfort of your bed and put you on the floor, and you do it. What a sad way to live, right? They're now putting you on the bed, on the floor, and the dog in the bed. Because there are people who allow the dog to sleep in the bed, but you sleep on the floor. Switch and roll with the animals. Talk about a fallen state. Now do you believe me? Now do you believe me when I say my country is not coming back? Or do you still want to live in an imaginary land? They're putting all the right people in all the wrong people in the right places. They are putting all of the wrong people in the right places to make sure that America never returns again. They are putting human beings on the floor and animals in the bed. And you just fall for it. What a mess. Men, when will you take back your family, your country, your businesses, your children? When? And women, why do you hate? Well, I know why you have the hatred in your heart, but how come you don't know it's evil to put your children on a leash? Are you that lazy and non-caring that you treat the man's children like animals? Amazing. Super chat.
Super chat.
Super
chats. Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Siona Wit Sion bought 3 coffees. Jesse Pookie Negro LOLOL. Hatred of another race comes from the north side of the liberal old Democrat whites. The whites in the South tell you to your face and even break bread with the black. and are not as hateful towards blacks as the North. Show the Coon Award train.
Oh, I got so much stuff over here now.
I know.
I forgot all about that. The Coon Award train. Isn't that amazing? It doesn't get any better than that. Which is best to have the Coon Award train or put the man's children on a leash like an animal? Even though some of those people that said that, somebody said, well, it just doesn't feel right. I know something's wrong with it, but they do it anyway. Amazing. Thank you, CR.
White Line NYC. Rabbis like to brag that Islam is their broom to sweep away, and now I see it. On IG, the UK Muslims are posting videos of turning churches into mosques and young whites converting in them.
I've never seen one race with so much fear as I've seen the white race. I showed you an ad where they said Delta Airline, according to the report, said put black and white, make sure it's capitalized. I mean, black and brown capitalized, but put white lower class, lowercase. And nobody, no outrage, no nothing said about it. White people like, oh, okay, it's slavery. The blacks need that because they didn't have that during slavery. Amazing. Thank you.
White Line NYC. Jesse, please read Talmud, Sanhedrin 55b, and let us know if you still support them. Imagine what the rest of it commands.
Who is Talmud?
Talmud?
Yeah.
It's the other book that the Jewish people read other than the Old Testament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for the tip. Renever bought a coffee. My other super chat auto-corrected, but you get it. And I don't know what he's referring to. Maybe he edited this. Love language? That's why men are funnier than women. It's a survival strategy, he says.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know what you're referring to, but thank you.
Amazing Asia bought a coffee. So that explains it. My love language is acts of service and affirmations.
Oh, that love language we played last week.
Yeah. Or Monday.
Monday.
I need to hear I'm pretty or I'll go crazy. Laughing face with tears coming out.
Why don't you all start thinking for yourself and stop listening to these intellectuals with degrees? They are your enemies. Anyone that's into the intellect love evil. The intellect hate God. It hate good. But everybody rushing to become an intellectual. You will continue to suffer. What a mess. Thank you.
Over on Buy Me a Coffee, White Line NYC bought another coffee. Trump is a little hat and a Freemason. The only thing he's making great again is Israel. Don't believe me? Look it up for yourselves.
Amazing. Thank you.
The
Great White Hope. Donald Trump kicked butt the other day. We'll get to that story. Amazing.
Chris Red bought a coffee. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let's see. And no message, but he bought another coffee saying Trump may be the great white hope, but what do you think about Bobby Kennedy for president?
No. Only Donald Trump. If ever we needed the great white hope, we need him now. The rest of the people ain't going to hear no beeping. The plane going down to the ground, they don't hear beeping. Can you imagine they put the dog in the bed and put the human on the floor? And they fall for it. They can be as cozy or cozier on a bed, the human, than on the floor. That's what you may say, but that's cute.
I can't wait to get one of those things.
Are you serious?
Did Shark Tank give them the money?
What?
Did they get the investment?
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder if Shark Tank got they got the money.
Are you serious that you would buy a dog bed?
I mean, it looked pretty, it's kind of like camping.
So your bed is not comfortable enough? The human bed?
I don't know. You put that right next to a fire. It could be a vibe.
But how would women get better if the men go along with everything they do?
Nah, I'm just kidding around.
Oh.
Sorry.
I don't know if I believe him.
Are you joking now?
Yeah.
About you just kidding?
Yeah, I'm just joking around.
You just joking around about the bed, or that you were kidding?
About the bed.
Oh. But you would not get one?
I mean, try it out.
Why?
Just next to a fire,
How would women get better if the men are weak?
Nah, I was just joking.
What?
Joking around.
Deep voice.
I feel better now you changed your voice.
It got serious.
What? Amazing. Anyway, thank you.
Paul bought a coffee. Didn't Jesse know MLK Day was Monday? Where that man at? Thanks, Hake. He
Where's
said that.
MLK now?
Right.
All right, rest my case.
Amazing Asia bought a coffee. I show my love by affirmation, quality time, physical touch, gifts, and acts of service, but I only want 2 love languages back in return. Laughing face with cheers coming out.
What a mess. Thank you.
Amazing Asia bought a coffee answering the biblical question.
Why are you afraid of negotiating?
I'm afraid of negotiating because I don't have any confidence. I don't have any confidence because I haven't returned to the Father. I haven't returned to the Father because I haven't forgiven my mother. I haven't forgiven my mother because I'm afraid. Scared scream emoji. What a mess.
What a mess. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you. Let me go to some phone calls here, and then we'll finish up on that.
All right.
I'm looking at the clock. Thank you. Let me go to a first-time caller. Anna out of Pennsylvania. Anna, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
I've been listening to you for a couple months now, so I really appreciate everything you're doing to rebuild the family by rebuilding the man.
Thank you.
And, I try to catch you on all your different shows, so thanks.
Right on, thank you.
Thanks. I just, to answer about the leash, so will my husband be considered a alpha or a beta? Some cultures have... if you have the
Anna, do me a time frame. Can you hold for me? Let me take a quick break. That way you don't rush.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. I got to take a break. 2 more hours to go. Hake is coming up with the hate news, not the fake news. I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, January 17th, AD 2024. Stay tuned for hour 2. JLP will be right back to your calls. By the way, there is one line open. You can call in right now. 888-77-JESSE, 1-888-775-3773. During Hake News, not fake news, Costco shoppers, scum of the earth. Am I right? I'm just kidding. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports, though, Costco is testing out a system that requires members to scan their membership cards at the store entrance instead of just flashing the card to employees watching at the door. This comes as the retail giant Costco aims to decrease the number of non-members sneaking in with membership cards that don't belong to them, particularly since the company expanded self-checkout. And disloyal DeSantis, good heavens, is he still trying to win? Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports Florida Governor Ron DeSanctimonious warned in a CNN town hall Tuesday night that Republicans are going to lose the 2024 election if they nominate our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. Please. Maybe he's just kidding around. DeSantis sought to make the case that Trump's legal issues would follow him throughout the campaign and alienate key GOP voters. Yeah, right. Both DeSantis and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, the UN ambassador under Trump, are now rushing to redefine their paths to viability on the heels of Trump's resounding 51% win in the Iowa caucuses against however many others. Haley, meanwhile, is receiving criticism for claiming the U.S. has never been a racist country. Based Nikki Haley during an interview on Fox News on Tuesday. She also said she would not participate in any future debates unless Trump attended, forcing ABC to cancel their debate that was set for Thursday. Wow. Interesting. And shut the government down. The Senate on Tuesday, I doubt it'll happen, advanced a short-term funding extension, but challenges remain to avert a looming government shutdown. Lawmakers racing against the clock ahead of the Friday deadline with little room for error. The evil Biden administration officials have expressed some confidence that the Congress can ultimately reach a deal to keep the government funded, unfortunately. Some House Republicans are threatening to shut down over border policy disagreements. Congressional leaders expected to meet with crooked Joe Biden later today, if it hasn't happened already, to discuss the future of supplemental spending bill. The bill being negotiated is aimed at sending aid to Israel and Ukraine and Taiwan and the U.S. southern border with Mexico. But efforts include changes to border and immigration policy, in particular, that have stalled progress for months. And Israel-Palestine war drama, hostages. Israel and Hamas have agreed on a deal that will see the medicine delivered to hostages in Gaza in exchange for delivery of humanitarian aid to Palestinian civilians, Qatar said on Tuesday. Relatives of more than 100 remaining hostages believed alive in Gaza have been calling for medications to be passed on to their loved ones. Hostages and Missing Families Forum, an advocacy group for victims' families, said that each new day in captivity further endangers their lives and health. At least a third of Israeli hostages have chronic illnesses and require medication, the forum said in a report last week, adding that others suffer from illnesses related to the harsh captivity conditions. The medicine and aid will leave Doha today, Qatar said, but it's unclear when they will reach Gaza. And pay Bob more. Disney CEO, according to Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, Bob Iger made only $31.6 million in total compensation last year. Despite his multi-million pay package, Disney has recently faced growing challenges, including a string of box office flops, declining linear TV viewership, and an uneven transition into a streaming future. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP. Hour 2.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. And if you're busy and out and about and you can't watch the show live, you podcast later, of course, but you can be listening while you're doing what you're doing. By calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. Amazing! And don't forget to follow us on JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Amazing, huh? My brand new biblical question. Why are you afraid of negotiating? That's an amazing biblical question. Why are you afraid of negotiating? I got to ask my experts about that. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or RebuildingTheMan.com. RebuildingTheMan.com. All right? I want to go back to Anna. I had to put Anna on hold there. We ran out of time. Manhood Hour is coming up in the next hour. Let me go to a first-time caller, Anna. Anna, thank you for holding you on the air.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yes.
So my question, I don't feel one way or the other about it, but I often wondered, to start off my comment, is my husband made twin females first.
Beta.
Is that beta?
Oh, beta.
Is two females equal to one male?
That's beta.
Is that double beta?
That's double beta.
Oh, man.
He must not know the secret to making males first.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Amazing.
But we have, as the third child, we do have a male. So,
right
yeah, and they're all just the best kids. I mean, I know, evil female speaking, my kids are the best, and then I ship them off to the evil public school, but...
And why do you do that?
Why? Learning home didn't really work well. We were in fear for COVID times and everything, so first we were forced to, and then when schools opened, then we were afraid to, and so they did an extra year, and then especially the little guy, he wasn't learning that well. And so it was just too distracting, and he was so young. It just it didn't really work out.
So you didn't have the patience. Were you teaching them?
I was. It was a combination. It was like an online platform,
right?
And then so it was like it was a combination, but a lot of it was on me. And the girls were at a pivotal year too, with like third grade, which was a lot of information that they're getting in third grade, and then him starting off, and then I had some teachers, some evil teacher that he would tune in with, like, I don't know, once a day for a little while, and she's like, oh, he's going to be a non-reader, you know, he doesn't know anything, and so it was...
You didn't have the patience to teach them?
Patience, I guess that was probably a factor in it. Yeah.
So how do you feel knowing that if they're left in the public school system, that they will be destroyed? Otherwise, you won't even recognize your own kids.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel strongly to that end, because the way that I teach them at home with morals and values, and I do tell them which things to tune out and which things to tune in. And so I feel like they are responsible for, you know, in the sense that they can tune out things when they know that it's against what our values are in the home.
Why does your husband allow you to send them off?
Oh, if it was up to him, he would have them at home.
But why isn't it up to him? He's the father. He's why don't you obey him?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we have talked about it, but I guess we do know that now as far as their learning and the fact that they're getting more responsibility on their shoulders, like when they were at home, I was picking up the slack for them, where now at school, they're learning a lot more responsibility over themselves.
So your husband prefer that they stay home and be homeschooled, right?
I don't think he has like a very strong preference to it. I mean, when it gets cold and flu and all those disgusting viruses season, he gets a more strong feeling about it because he fears for their health. In that sense, it's not like a moral question for him. It's more of just like the physical well-being. And that was the original reason why I was calling in, because I had those backpack leashes on my twins, and that's why I was going to say that was something that I did. That was the thing I was commenting on, because it fit perfectly to what I wanted to call in for a while, but that fit perfectly. So like having twins, that was the thing. I was very paranoid, and I was very fearful going out in public with them. Going to a mall just to walk around and get out of the house a little.
Why?
And things like that. Or
why
like,
were you so afraid?
The way I was raised, I guess.
How were you raised? To be afraid?
Yeah, I think so.
Did your parents put a leash on you as well?
I don't know if they existed when I was a child.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that was really, or when they first came out, I remember, I feel like it was around like the early 90s when they kind of came out, as I recall, and they were more leash-like, I think, but now they made them cute to look like a little plush backpack, and so it's like a harness around the chest, like a clip-on thing, and it was like a cute little thing. Or sometimes if they went up on a high, like park equipment, I would go up on the equipment and like hold the thing so that they wouldn't jump off of a high height on the park equipment. So for me, it came in handy. I mean, I attracted a lot of attention with the cute little twins out in public. I mean, a lot of people would stop me. It was unbelievable how many people would be attracted to them. Like, wow, are they twins? And how old are they? And everything. So I felt like, if one of them took off running one way and the other one went the other way, I would have some sense of protection over them. So
amazing.
That was.
So your husband okay with you putting leashes on his children as well?
I think so. Yeah. We didn't really talk at length about my adventures out at the mall and everything like that, but he just went to work and did what he had to do. And I think in the end, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he would be happy about it that, I was taking an extra step to keep them safe.
So you had fear. Is it possible to have fear for your kids and love them at the same time?
Fear for them and love them. Fear in a spiritual sense or fear in a physical sense?
Fear, period. Can you have
fear for them and love them
and still love them?
It's a good question. I would be inclined to say yes as my first reaction to that.
Is there love in fear?
I think of it as for the self, maybe no. But when you're a minor and like when you're under someone else's protection, like I'm responsible to get them to age 18 alive, then I feel like it can go hand in hand.
But they're always females have been having children forever, right? And they didn't put leashes on them. and
That's
the
true.
kids grew up to be 18 and over. What
true.
changed?
I think that there's less. For one, I think there's like less family around as well. I feel like back in the old days, it was, or like going back, let's say, 1,000 years ago, you would have your whole village, and that was all your aunties and all your, relatives, and everybody kind of watched over each other as well. And now families are probably smaller, and it's more of just the mother being responsible over the children. So I think we're more protective.
Amazing.
And more burdened. I mean, not burdened, but you know what I mean, that the load falls on our shoulders. Yeah.
Do you you obey your husband?
I say yes to that.
But if he's letting you do all this, what is there to obey? He lets you treat his children like animals. What is there to obey?
To put them on a leash?
Right. He let you put them on a leash like an animal, like a dog.
I don't think he saw it that way.
And then he let you send them off to public school, knowing that it's like sending them to hell every day. And it's,
I don't know if he knows it. I don't know if he looks at it that deeply.
Really?
Because he went to public school, I went to public school. I mean, we know that times are different, and we talk about those things, but I don't think he's that deep into it. He's, in his responsibilities at work and everything, so he's having, he's having that. I'm more responsible over the kids, so I don't want to say he doesn't defer to me, but if he feels very strongly about something and he tells me do this, then yes, of course I do. If he says don't go out today, the weather is taking a turn, and I don't want you taking the kids out and going anywhere.
Amazing.
So that's what I'll say. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you put the leash on your kids, do you get the feeling that you're treating them like animals, like dogs?
Well, this was years ago, so the girls are now older. The girls are in the 6th grade now.
But when you were doing that, did you feel like they were animals? Like, even though you ignored the feeling, you got the feeling that they were being treated like animals?
I felt that it was the first time that I didn't think of them as animals. I thought of it as, okay, here's a product that's out there, and it's a way for me to keep them safe. I feel like it's the first time I probably would have taken them out with no stroller, like they're walking already, and that people are looking at me a certain way because it would elicit some looks from people either to the positive or to the negative, either approval or disapproval. Some people would yell out, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, I wish they had that when my kids were little. And these are people who are like boomers, let's say, right? Like older, people who really hadn't seen that product around for a while.
Was it mostly females?
Men, female, males, females, both. And so people would say things, and I think it was the first time I felt that I would not be, other than them crying in public and doing things like that, it forced me not to care what people thought. So it changed my mentality to, I don't care. I'm doing what I need to do, and whatever way people feel, I can shove those feelings aside.
Wow.
So it was more, so it made my thought like that, but it didn't make my thought feel like that they're animals or something. No, it wasn't
amazing.
Like that. Yeah.
Before I run, why don't you overcome your fear?
I'm working on it. I think it's a work in progress. I'm working.
How are you working on it? In what way?
So having I'm talking specifically about the germaphobe and the fear of getting sick and those feelings of, wanting to stay healthy and intact. I think that I'm realizing that we can't control, because if you don't get sick from outside, you'll get sick from within with cancers or other things. So I think I'm changing in the way of just letting go to God's will. And if, going out, don't wear a mask, letting go of some fears in that sense.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not drop your anger and be done with fear?
I don't really know how. I don't understand, I guess, the question of fear and anger as a direct link.
Yeah, they do. Because in anger, there is no love. There's nothing but hate. And in hate, there's nothing but fear. All people who has anger has fear. It's a child of anger, and anger is a child of fear. It's evil. There's no love in it. It's nothing but evil.
Yeah, I mean,
why
I
don't
could
you
see
drop
that.
your anger?
I'm working on it.
By doing what? By doing what?
Just, meditating on it and just prayer. In my way of praying, I'm Catholic. So,
oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that.
That's what my question to you. What's wrong with what do you feel like that when you hear about somebody that's Catholic?
Because I know that they're lost. I know that they're miserable. Because Catholic, it teaches you how to be in fear, not how to be free. And all children of God, sons and daughters of God, should be free. And if you're not free, then you have not returned to the Father. Have you forgiven your mother?
That's something I'm working up to for sure.
How are you working on that?
Well, every day I think, okay, I'll say something, but I always think like it has to come up naturally in a type of conversation that has a smooth segue to saying, okay, well, at the end of the day, this is how I feel and that I forgive you and everything.
If you go straight to it, shaking in your boots, and say, hey, Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you all my life. And I realize now you can't help yourself because I become like you and I can't help myself. And I'm sorry for resenting you. Then you will overcome the anger, which would cause you to overcome the fear.
You are right. You are right. I mean, I hear you say this all the time, and I can't argue any way out of it one way or the other.
So why not just work on you by facing your mother first?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the next, week or something, I'll probably do that.
Why put it off? Next week is not promised to you.
You're right. You are right. She, we get into these conflicts every so often, and so, somehow I annoyed her or she annoyed me in the conversation, and then it's just like, it just feels gross. I just feel disgusting after, like, some of the times,
well,
that we talk.
If you forgave her for what she's done to you, because that's where all your issues came from is her, you'll be free of all that. If you want to talk to her, you will, not. And if she act crazy, it wouldn't move you at all because it would be her and not you. Right now, you identify with her.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's like my friend and I used to talk years ago, like the worst fear in life is becoming like your parents, and like that I had kids, and sometimes I sense myself sounding or acting like her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, no.
You are your mother, and you're going to continue to treat your children in the same way that your mother treated you. You already put them on a leash, and you're going to treat them like a patient. You're not going to love them. You're going to traumatize them in the same way that your mother done to you because you're not yourself. You're your mother.
Mm-hmm. That is accurate. I'm still on her leash.
Yeah? What a mess. So you love your hell?
Oh, no, I don't.
If you didn't love your hell, you will overcome it.
Yeah, I know. Well, thankfully, I discovered you, more recently, so I listened to a lot of, your content from years ago, and still, you never change the things that you say and the way that you teach. And so, yeah, I'm building up. You're giving me courage, but I know I don't need the courage. I just have to.
You need to do it in fear. And once you do it in fear, then the courage will come. And the fear will disappear.
Yep. I agree.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Some sleepless nights. I try to close my eyes and go into it, and then, it's been calming, but it's not every morning, every night, nothing like that.
So you're not ready to overcome your hell, huh?
No.
You love the thrill of your hell.
I guess in some ways you don't think that you love it, but then some ways you just, you get like I haven't died to myself yet,
right.
I guess. Yeah.
Are you doing this Hail Mary thing?
Well, that's what, I will say that the rosary, I will say that it's given me many blessings in life.
No, it hasn't given you one blessing.
Well,
you still have fear. You still lack patience. You still emotional. It hasn't done anything for you.
Yeah, but I can't transform overnight,
Why not?
It's just something.
You can change at the blinking of an eye right now, but you don't want to change.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
What a mess!
It's a mess. But I'll work on it. I'll call you back and I'll let you know how things have gone once I've gone into it. But
okay. One last question. Mm-hmm. How are you going to handle it when the kids remember trying to run free and they were held back by their mother? How will you handle it?
They know about it. They just laugh about it. They just don't really. They don't see it as a bad thing.
But
they understand.
Will. As they get older, they will.
Maybe. Listen, this has been my prayer since I even, they were infants. I said, I hope that I have the courage and strength to let them go the way that I never had been given the freedom to been let go of,
Oh, you said that to the devil?
Nah, no, not at all. But
what a mess!
I feel like, just saying out loud, just talking to God and just saying, let that not happen. So
but you're not talking to God when you do that. You're talking to the devil.
I don't know about that, but, I don't know. I'm just working on myself. That's all I could say about it.
I can hear you now praying to the God. I hope that they have a little better than I did. Lord, don't let them turn out the way I did. And then as soon as you do the amen, you say, now, where's that leash?
Maybe. I guess. I don't know.
What a mess. Anna, thank you for your call. Call me again. But start working on yourself.
I will let you know how it went.
All right. God bless you.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Manny is a first-time call out of California. Manny, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
The reason I'm calling actually is to follow up something that you mentioned to Anna before. How would you my position is this. Poor academic performance in the public schools by black kids leads directly to criminality. So, because if you graduate and you're functionally illiterate, there are very few jobs for you, and it tempts you to do something illegal. How would you reform the black public schools?
Well, number one, a lack of education does not lead to criminality. It's the lack of love. The blacks, not all, but most of them only have hatred in their hearts because they have not overcome their mothers. It's not the lack of education. Because when I was growing up, blacks were not as they were into school and stuff, but they didn't put education first. They put love first. Loving your neighbor as yourself, loving God with all your heart. So blacks were not as angry as they are today because the family is broken. The fathers are not leading the mother in the right way to raise children. So it's not the lack of education, it's the lack of a return to the father.
Okay.
They hate their mothers.
Anyway, if I made you education czar, and I give you the job of improving the performance of black public schools, what would you do, if anything?
I would put male back in charge of the school. I would have male principals and mostly male teachers, some female teachers, but mostly male teachers. And I would not pass them to the next grade unless they earned the way and make them be responsible that way. They would change then.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I don't know what this. I wish I had a bone to pick with you, but I can't.
Amazing.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, man. Amazing. 888-775-3773. There's a line open there. Tony is a first-time call out of Tennessee. Not Tony, but Troy. Sorry about that, Troy. Troy is out of Tennessee. Hey, Troy. Troy? I'll put him on hold. Maybe he got a little mute thing on and don't realize it. Let me know. Let me do this real fast because of time here. Then I get back to your calls and your super. Remember I told you that whenever you put blacks in control of your white stuff, they're going to destroy it in the same way they've already destroyed their stuff. I have more proof. Let me try Troy first. Hey, Troy.
Hey, howdy.
Okay, let's go for it. Go ahead. You're on the air.
I've been listening to your show for about a couple months now, and y'all talk about rebuilding the man and stuff, and I was wondering because I'm having a hard time figuring out how to go about forgiving my mother because, I mean, I grew up as a black sheep of the family, and, like, everything that, like, they do, like, she does is, like, in the not, like, she does it in, like, I guess a nice way, and it makes it, and then if you try to, like, say anything, it turns into, like, like a guilt trip. Like, I did nothing but all this for you, and this, that, and the other, and
Okay.
I just want to know, like, how would I go about trying to go and forgive my mother when I see that's probably what's going to end up coming back to me.
I'll tell you that in a minute. Hold on. Do not hang up, all right? Let me take a quick break, and I'll come back and work with you on that one. 888-775-3773. 888-77-JESSE. A quick break. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, and individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, They overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JustineLeePeterson.com/show. JustineLeePeterson.com/show. And for good readings, some people love reading books, right? For good reading, check out my books. They are amazing. The first one, From Rage to Responsibility. From Rage to Responsibility. From Rage to Responsibility. Amazing. The very first one that I wrote. And then the second one, Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America and is worse now than ever. And then the 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. A little small pocket guide. Really, if you do it, it'll work. Especially if you want to start a business, but just in life general. All right? We're having it reprinted right now because we ran out of paperback, but you can get it. The 7 Guaranteed Step available on Kindle or audiobook. Go to rebuildingaman.com/stores, and there's a link there to Amazon where you can purchase the book. And then the last but not least, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. And I will sign them. I will sign them all. Go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And The Antidote is really amazing as well. It just kind of seals everything off. Amazing. I highly recommend them, all right? Let me go back to, it's a women's forum this Thursday, ladies, for ladies only at 7 p.m., the first one for this year, every third Thursday night of the month for ladies only, and first Thursday night for men only. So Troy want to know how to forgive his mother. And Troy, you see that you have anger toward her?
Yes, I have for many years. Like, I've felt like I've forgiven my mother and my father, but yet I still, to this day, like, I've got 3 kids, and I still see myself getting angry and stuff, and I know that's just not right. I get mad and frustrated about things, and it just overwhelms me. And I've listened to your show and stuff, so it kind of points me out to show that I don't feel like a beta, but that's what I've been.
Anyone that has anger, especially a male, is a beta. But here's what you do, Troy. You see that, and that's what's holding you back in life. You got to face her shaking in your boots. You're going to be nervous. The thoughts are going to tell you, you're going to hurt her feelings, or she's going to say, I did my best, or blah, 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 right? Let her say whatever she wants. That's on her. It has nothing to do with you. She might not be ready to overcome her hell in her, but you're ready to overcome yours. So just say, hey, mother, I realize now you can help yourself. I'm sorry for hating you, for resenting you. And don't ask for forgiveness. If she said, well, I need to be forgiving you, let her say whatever she wants. Don't react to it. Don't overreact. And just say, hey, I'm just sorry for resenting you. And God will forgive you, Troy. He will take away that mother spirit from you, that evil spirit, and he will make you free. But you got to face her in your fear, and that's how you overcome the fear, by facing it.
All right.
And don't have any expectation from her at all. Don't expect her to apologize. Don't expect her not to apologize. Don't expect her to admit anything. Don't expect her to admit. It's on you. You're working on you. And God said that when we forgive others, he will forgive us. And so to apologize for resenting her because she couldn't help herself, she hated her mother. And to apologize for hating, for being angry, is what forgiveness is. And then you will change as well.
Okay. Alrighty.
And so if she played that little nice game on you, don't fall for it. She's trying to keep you in the hell with her. So stand up. Even though you're shaking in your boots, your thoughts are racing like now they're going north. Your emotions are going crazy. Just do it anyway, and God is with you. You'll be fine.
All right.
Is your father still living?
Yes, he is.
When you ask him why did he protect you from her, what does he say?
I haven't asked him that.
Why not?
I'm not sure why I haven't. I just know that when I was growing up, I'd never really understood why I felt like I had an issue with my father. But then now that I'm older, I've thought about it, and I have been preached to most of my life about, oh, well, I'm the one that my mom would say, I'm the one that took you to all your stuff. I'm the one that's done all this, and your dad's not been there. And I feel like it's been pushed on me. And me and my dad got into this big ordeal one night, and he wanted to fight, and I told him I didn't want to. There was no point in it.
Yeah.
So we went through this whole big ordeal, and it took me like a few weeks to be able to go back to him and forgive him for that. And then when I finally did that, I felt better about myself. But I've never really asked him why he didn't protect me from my mother.
He couldn't handle your mother. The same game that your mother played on you, she played on him. And because he has not overcome his mother, he was married to his mother. Your mother is his mother because he was attracted to what he hated. And so I would suggest you forgive him as well. Hey, Dad, I'm sorry for resenting you. I understand now. You couldn't help yourself. And whatever his reactions are, that's on him. But you forgive so that God can take away the spirit of anger and give you the spirit of love, which is his nature. And you'll pass love on to your children. You won't pass that anger on. Anger is hatred. You pass on love. And there's nothing like the love of a father for a family.
Amen to that.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I've listened to it. I've done it with my wife at night before I go to bed.
Well, and why not do it every morning, every night?
I haven't really tried, I guess, fitting it into my schedule. I get up bright and early, go to work, and I don't know, I'm in a hurry in the morning, and I never thought about it. I guess I let my thoughts overdo me
absolutely.
In the morning.
The last thing that Satan wants you to do is to be still and know God. He doesn't want you to let go. He wants you in a hurry. He wants you trying to make your own life work, and that's never going to work. Your life will work when you let go. And so I would highly recommend you do the silent prayer every morning, every night. Get up a little early and do it. Seek first the kingdom of God in his right way, and everything will be added. You will see your whole life start to smooth out because your mind will become clear. Those thoughts will have no control over you anymore.
Okay.
Because those thoughts that keep you rushing are evil. They are from the devil because you're not the owner of your thoughts. You don't create thoughts at all. They're all evil except for practical thoughts.
Okay. practical thoughts being like what you got to do for work and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And you don't live by that. You just use those thoughts as a tool. And once you've done the project, you put the tool down. But I highly recommend, Troy, forgive your mother. Shake it in your boot. Do it anyway. Same thing with your father. Have no expectation. And do the silent prayer. And you'll see if you stay with it, you'll see that it's going to be fine. Why do you do it with your wife rather than doing the silent prayer alone?
Just because she was the one that started listening to you, and she just would play it, and I've never actually tried like looking for myself to do anything, I guess.
Right.
And she's played it, and I've just done it with her.
All right. Well, there's nothing wrong with doing it with her. It's just that this journey that you have to take, you can't take it with anyone else. You must take it alone. You can't bring your kids. You can't bring your wife. You can't bring your daddy, your mama. You got to travel this journey, this road by yourself.
Okay.
So I highly recommend that you have a show you how to get it, pull it up or whatever, and start doing it and just stay working on you. You still got to direct your wife and children in the right way, but you got to work on you now. It's now time to work on you.
All right.
And again, you're going to be nervous because you're going to face evil. Your mother is evil, and you've had to deal with evil all along, all your life, and now it's time to face it. So you'll be nervous, but all that will pass once you truly forgive her.
Okay.
Let me know how it goes, all right?
All right, I will. I'll let you know.
Any other question about that?
I guess why does it, some part of me, like inside of me, feel that it would, feel like it's wrong to kind of push my parents a little more, because some things have happened and we don't let them see my kids and all.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, just something in me just says like it feels wrong, but yet everything that I know that I grew up with and everything just makes me want to say, well, who cares? But something in me says that it's wrong.
Well, it's not wrong to forgive. It's the right thing to do if you want to enter into the kingdom of heaven within. And that's not you telling yourself that. That is that spirit of evil that made a home in you when you became angry as a kid. It entered into your mind and emotions, and that's not you telling you that. That's evil.
Okay.
And so don't call that you anymore. That's that thing that you want to overcome, which made a home in your mind and body.
All right. Well, that makes sense.
So next time it does that, just notice, wow, this thing telling me this. This thing that's not me. Just notice it so you can stop identifying with it, and it will have to depart from you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And once this anger is gone, you're going to deal with your parents as an adult. If you don't want them around, you'll say no. And you won't be angry about it. If you don't feel like calling, you'll say no. You won't feel angry about it. You will be free.
Okay, that sounds great. I'd like to be able to feel like that.
You will. Once you forgive, it's the beginning of freedom. And then just watch those thoughts, knowing that they're not you. You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're not your body. And once all that disappears, you'll be free. Just work on it. You'll see. You're going to live on earth as you are in heaven. It's going to be fine.
Okay.
All right?
All right. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let me know how it goes.
All right, I will. I'll give you a call back when I forgive them, and I'll tell you how everything went.
All right, Troy. I wish you well.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Amazing. 888-7753-773. That's a line open. Super chat. Super
chats. Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. White Lion NYC bought one. Jesse, the country This country is the only one that voted against stopping the genocide. This country, America. Rocket, fire, bomb, skull, brown baby, skull and crossbones emojis.
Stopping what genocide?
Being committed by the people you love. The genocide committed by the people you love. But one commercial ship boat emoji gets attacked and want to start another war. What the emoji?
So what is he talking about?
He's talking about Israel genociding the Palestinians. And our country, America, voted against stopping that genocide, in his words.
Of the Palestinians?
Yeah.
What genocide?
Where
Joe Biden, you can't hide.
You're supporting genocide.
But what genocide is he talking about? He or she?
The attack on the Palestinians in Gaza.
What attack?
The Israel's going into Gaza and killing.
Oh, they're protecting themselves.
Yeah, protecting themselves, killing 24,000.
That's it?
What do you mean that's it? So he calls it a genocide, and a lot of people are calling it a genocide.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So do they know the real evidence of what's going on and why? Or they just hearing sound bites from the media and the protesters? I can't
ask him because this is a coffee.
Oh, okay.
It's a one-way conversation.
Thank you, Coffee. What's her name, the first name?
White Lion NYC.
White Lion NYC. Thank you.
Who also says, hey, Jesse, did you know that the Little Hats hate Jesus? Besides murdering him, they were banned from 109 countries for their sacrifice ritual murders, in which they kidnap children, torture, poking. The ritual represents the killing of baby Jesus. It's the people you love, Jesse. Don't believe anything I say. Have your experts look into it.
Well, a hat is not capable of loving Jesus.
Facts.
It's just a material thing.
Yep.
Does this person hate the Jews or something?
He seems to have a beef.
Is this happening to him or something?
No, I think he's just read about it.
Well, let him know if he doesn't love all, he loved none.
Hey,
you must love the Jews and the Palestine and Hitler Mama and everybody. Or you love none. Amazing. Thank you.
P.S. That Brooklyn tunnel made across the street from an elementary school. They spit on nuns in Israel while verbally abusing them. What the emoji?
Amazing. Thank you.
I have books that are amazing. Donated a diamond. Jesse, would you hire someone with a black sounding name?
No.
Whoa.
No. Not at all. It's just trouble. You already know in advance you're bringing in trouble into your company. Why do that? Thank you.
White Lion NYC says with a coffee, because Jesse wasn't around yesterday, I want to publicly acknowledge the growth and improvement of Hake. He's gone from being a stuttering beta to a person that is confident in what he thinks and believes and is no longer afraid to call out the bogus speech.
Amazing. Thank you.
Congrats, Hake. Definitely the best of the experts.
The guy with the good hair. He has grown a lot and is growing. Thank you.
Tara over on Rumble says, Leashes.
You gotta know how to rumble.
Leashes are helpful and can keep your rambunctious child safe. My kids are known to just turn and run. I never used a leash, but would be lying if I said I hadn't considered one.
Well, at least you didn't do it. At least you love them enough not to treat them like dogs and cats and animals. Thank you. Come on, man.
White Lion NYC, Trump, the father of the vaccine, as he calls himself, gave Big Pharma full immunity. Now he's pushing for full immunity for police officers. I'm very concerned about that, along with the presidential immunity show being put on. I just don't see how those 3 full immunities are great for America.
If ever we needed the police back, we need them now. And the police need to be protected for doing their jobs. It's totally reverse. And if the country continued down that road, we haven't seen hell on earth yet. It only will get worse. So you better hope that he can bring the cops back. Thank you.
Nathan Denny bought 3 coffees. Coffee spelled backwards is EFOC, and that's pretty funny, he says.
Thank you.
Sounds immature. I'm not going to get into it. Charles bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, every time I fly Delta out of Atlanta, all I see is fat black female and gay black male flight attendants. Also, black female passengers with pajamas and bonnets on. Blacks ruin everything.
The flying class used to be first class flying, really. It used to be like a treat. But now it's gone. It's a hood now. And it's unfortunate. But what's even unfortunate, I don't blame the people for doing what they do. I blame the whites for allowing it to happen. Because people are going to do what they do, that's on them. But why do the whites put up with it? You know what I mean? What a mess.
Indeed. Siona Witt Sion bought a coffee. Even flight attendants used to have a certain look and cleanliness. How now they're hiring everybody off the street, Jesse. Bear emojis. Whole bunch of them.
Amazing. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Why is my computer in the screen?
My mic is on. I can't answer you.
And why no one is correcting it?
We're talking about it. We're dealing with it. We will deal with it.
Why? Look at that.
I know.
And they said, no one told me.
White Lion NYC bought a coffee. Jesse, I'm in an Obama movie. I'm in the Obama movie. The people complaining about it are low IQ. It was not made to be a blockbuster nor entertaining. It's a combination of predictive programming and messages targeted for different demographics. That is why many people don't understand the movie as a whole, because the messages are not for everyone to understand.
They're in the movie?
He's in the movie. He or she, White Lion NYC.
I had a friend of mine tell me that they saw that movie and that there were people, conservative people saying, don't watch it, don't watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but conservative people are saying, don't watch it, don't watch it. And they watched it anyway, and they said, it's interesting, it's scary, they said.
Wow.
So I haven't seen it, but.
Yeah. This is the first I've heard about it, besides yesterday when I read about it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's okay to watch movies. I haven't seen the movie. You see what the liberals are up to.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Thank you.
WD41 donated 3 diamonds, no message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coffee Talk with Sandra. Welcome back, Jesse. Guys, rocked it for us. XOXOX.
Thank you, Mama House, for letting us on there. It was amazing having us on. It was a really good conversation, too, all right? Let me take a break. Thank you all. We'll finish you when I come back. And your phone calls. Thank you so much. 1 more hour to go. Manhood Hour is coming up. Hake is coming in with Hake News. Back in a moment.
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world, am I right? This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, January 17th, AD 2024. Hour 3, Manhood Hour, is coming right up, guys. But first, Hake News, not fake news. And you can call in right now during Hake News. 1-888-77-JESSE, 1-888-775-3773. Racists want to ban menthols. What? Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports health advocates are ratcheting up pressure on the White House, the black on the inside White House, to move forward with a nationwide ban on menthol cigarettes ahead of what they say is a critical deadline this week. Critical deadline? Advocates are urging crooked Joe Biden to make a decision by Saturday because the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, the agency behind the proposed ban, has said that they need a year for full implementation. Oh, okay. And they think that Joe Biden may not be reelected. Okay. But if the black on the inside White House does not decide, at least internally this week, to get the wheels of the government moving on an approved ban, and if Biden does not win a second term, a new president could easily begin the process of repealing the rule without it ever taking effect. According to a 2022 study, a ban on menthol cigarettes would save, this is a study, it's a projection, they're in their imaginations, would save more than 650,000 lives in the United States within 40 years, so they claim. They don't care about lives. Unruly passengers and stewardesses, but they don't mention that. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, reports airlines are facing a plethora of travel woes, from weather-related disruptions to an increasing number of unruly passengers. Got to keep out the riffraff, up those prices, right? On Tuesday, an American passenger, supposedly American, allegedly bit, as in bite, like that, a flight attendant, forcing a Seattle-bound all Nippon Airways flight to return to Tokyo. Wow, in Japan. The passenger was detained by police after the plane landed in the Japanese capital, and the flight attendant sustained minor injuries. A spokesman for the airline told Commie Nonsense Network, CNN. Several incidents have been reported this month of bad behavior and aggression from passengers, including a Montana-bound American Airlines flight that was diverted to Texas after a passenger allegedly punched a flight attendant and assaulted at least one police officer. Terrible. Speaking of airlines, a judge keeps Spirit Airlines ghetto. Not girl, ghetto. CNN reports the far-left female-run outlet The Skim reports JetBlue may feel like they got their wings clipped. Yesterday, a federal judge struck down the airline's $3.8 billion acquisition of Spirit Airlines. The Injustice Department argued the merger would throw travelers under the bus by removing the pressure on other airlines to keep their prices low and reduce competition. The ruling didn't sit well with some investors. Spirit Airlines' shares dropped by about 47%, while JetBlue's went up by about 5%. And mask off! CNN shares this quote, "There is no greater medium than television to influence our culture." Sounds like a boomer. Frank Sherma said that. He's the outgoing chair of the Television Academy, commenting on the organization's new list of 75 most impactful moments in TV history. Some of the iconic moments on the list include the 1969 moon landing. It was real. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech, evil. And the final blackout moment of The Sopranos. I'm not familiar with that one. Or any of them, really, firsthand. And more on the Middle East. Iran. Yesterday, Pakistan said Iran carried out an unprovoked violation of their airspace, targeting a militant group with missiles and drones. Strikes allegedly killed 2 children per Pakistan. Iran also launched attacks in Iraq and Syria. Fired missiles at Iraq's Kurdistan region, saying an Israeli espionage headquarters near a U.S. consulate was there. Killed 4, allegedly. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Manhood Hour.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. As you all know, we're putting in new equipment, taking the old equipment out. So it takes some adjustment, and that's what's happening right now. Trying to adjust everything to fit right and be right. All right? You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773 888-77-JESSE. There is a line open there. If you're busy and you're not able to sit and watch the show live right now, you can listen to it on your iPhone or iPad, working out or doing whatever it is that you're doing, by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget, we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. Check out the social media. We're on JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. My biblical question for this week. My biblical question. Why are you afraid of negotiating? Why are you afraid of negotiating? Why? That is my biblical question. Why are you afraid of negotiating? Amazing question. So it's Wednesday. It's the last hour of the show today. And every Wednesday, the last hour of the show is Manhood Hour.
Iowa, thank you. We love you all.
Donald Trump has won the Iowa caucuses.
And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together.
And now, the other candidates, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, are all fighting for second place.
Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off.
Amazing. Even back then. What the Great White Hope. I have the soundbite from the Iowa caucuses, and we're going to get to that. But first, remember, you know how they are trying to attack the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, and they're doing all they can to prevent him from running. Why is that? Just think about that. Why is it they're going out of their way to try to stop one man from running? They're not going after Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley need to get out of the way, go home and get back in the kitchen or something. What the? But they're not trying to stop Nikki Haley. They're not trying to stop the man from Florida. What's his name? DeSantis. They're not trying to stop Venezuela.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy coming.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy. They're not trying to stop Joe Biden, but Donald Trump. Isn't that amazing? I know they're trying to stop the Kennedy guy from running too, but they're not as desperately going after him as they are the Great White Hope. So this is why I tell you to watch. Donald Trump is an example of what all males should become. Don't complain about the issue. Don't worry about the issues. Just deal with the issues. Go through what you got to go through. And the world can't stop you. You can't stop you, especially when you return to the Father. So I want to encourage you to keep that little space there and watch. I don't know how this thing's going to turn out. I do have a wait and see. And I know that if we ever needed somebody to work for us, we need an employee like Donald Trump. We need Donald Trump. Amazing. And it looked like the people, the voters, are starting to realize that. Because according to the poll, he did very well in Iowa. Amazingly well. And Vivek
Ramaswamy.
Vivek endorsed Donald Trump. He dropped out of the race, but he endorsed the Great White Hope, the right thing to do. Thank you, sir. But you remember how he's in court and they try to do everything they can to stop him? Well, there's this black female down in Georgia on my mind, by the name of Fannie Willis. I think that's her name.
Fonnie Willis.
Is it Fonnie?
Yeah.
F-A-N-I?
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting on Sean to say somebody else. He's talking.
Could be.
He won't say. Fonnie Willis. A black female. If you want blacks to screw it up, if you want your country screwed up, put the blacks in charge. Look what happened to Harvard. They put a black female. They were like, you know what, Harvard is just too nice. Amazing school, been around forever. One of the first universities, I'm told, in the country. And Harvard is good, founded by white men. But you know what, that's too good for Harvard. This school needs to be screwed up. I know, let's employ a black female president. And they put her in charge. Look what happened. It went downhill like nothing on. It took a black female to destroy it. Satan is a mess. The military, they're like, the military is just too good. It's strong. It's mostly males. It's white. It's strong. How can we just screw up the military? I know. Let's put a black man in charge of it. A black male. And they put Lloyd Floyd. What's his name? Lloyd?
George Floyd?
No, Lloyd.
Oh, Lloyd Austin.
And they screwed up the military. Lloyd Austin, they say, reported, went to the hospital to have cancer surgery or something. He didn't tell anyone. And while they're at war, the black man like, I don't feel like telling nobody. It ain't that important. I know we at war, but so what? And look what's happening. They put a black man in charge of our country. Barack Obama, and Big Mama Michelle, the Father Messiah. And look what happened. How come no one can prove that I'm wrong? Why is it that no one say, no, Jesse, here's where you're wrong. Black people do not screw up a country. Because they know I'm right. It wasn't always that way, I can honestly tell you that. In the good old days, before the civil rights movement, so-called civil rights movement, because there's no such thing as civil rights, black America was functioning like the white man, the Jewish man, the Mexican man, the Asian man. They were doing just fine. But no, Martin Luther King and others decided they wanted to be the leader of the people, so let's go deceive them. Some people always, and I have too, complain that the Democrats control the blacks and they just use them for the votes. My question is, what's wrong with the blacks that they allow the Democrat Party to use them? The Democratic Party can use them if they didn't want to be used. Well, they got this woman down in Georgia going after the Great White Hope. Can you imagine? trying to play all tough. Now they're saying that the prosecutor and this woman were dating a black male, from the post-millennium. In Atlanta on Sunday, Willis addressed the accusation that she had an improper relationship with a prosecutor she hired. Isn't that amazing? I can hear them now. You know, I'm in charge of this. We need some money. You want to come? I'm imagining that's what they're saying. Watch this from X.
We are at a time in history when you can no longer sit back and just let other folks do it. You cannot expect black women to be perfect and save the world.
Yes,
the
Lord.
Lord is completing us. We are not perfect. We need your prayers. We need to be allowed to stumble. We need grace. With that kind of support, we will move mountains and do Jesus' will. Stumbling all the way.
She sounds like a black teacher. Look how the
we
people
are all
applauding.
flawed, sinners, unworthy, imperfect, damaged, but we are qualified upon His call. You can find
Amazing. And they're applauding and amening and everything. This female trying to stop the Great White Hope. And they go in these churches, they sound like black preachers. I don't feel no way stirred. I feel like going on. Amen. Praise the Lord. Have mercy, Jesus. The blacks applaud and praise the Lord. What's wrong with the blacks? What's wrong? Why can't they get it right? Oh, I know they identify with their color and not with the Father. They don't identify with what's right. They identify with their color. Well, they had the Iowa voting thing over there, caucus, and Donald Trump hit a home run. I don't think anyone's surprised about it. I don't think anyone is surprised. According to the AP, Donald Trump scored a record-setting win in the Iowa caucuses on Monday. Watch this from TMJ 4.
Former President Donald Trump was a heavy favorite in Monday's Iowa caucuses, and he dominated the first votes of the 2024 presidential election.
An unprecedented win for Trump. Former President Donald Trump winning all but one of Iowa's 99 counties, following a call to action to his supporters to show up no matter what, and they did. Iowans selecting Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as their second choice for the nomination. While Haley came in third, she did narrowly win one county, Johnson County, home of the University of Iowa.
Do you want more of the same?
You are the same. No, we don't want more of the same. What a dumb question. She's like, do you want more of the same? No, we don't want you. We don't want more of the same. This one female is a rhino. Remember when she took down the Confederate flag? I was done with her then. And why doesn't she stay home and raise that man children? I think does she have children? Why does she stay home and raise the man children? Why she got to be out working? The first woman of color. What a mess. Well, according to PBS, do we have time to play this next soundbite? Excuse me. When I come back, I want you to hear the next soundbite. The Great White Hope spoke to supporters in Des Moines on January 5th. So I'm being told that Nikki Haley has children but they are adults now. She was the governor in she was the governor of South Carolina while they were growing up. This woman don't love her children. Just in the way. Go home, Nikki Haley, and raise your grandchildren. You need something to do. Nikki Haley is a writer, a loser. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats, 888-7753-773. They were born in 1998 and 2001, according to Wikipedia. The treasure chest is now open on DEI. Back in a moment.
Home to me, down the riverside flowing, knowing she's still there. I can't see where she's going.
Check out my book, For Raise to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone. And you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND.
You'll find what you are looking for. In fact, that's all you'll see. Set out to defend your cause. Poison darts in the head. These days there is too much fear, blocking love to heal. Let's find a way to build a bridge across our foreign lands. Let's choose love. Let's make peace. Let's choose love.
The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com. And from 9 to 11. And at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. And then at 12 noon, The American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. Okay, so let me do this. The Great White Hope gave a talk after he won in Iowa the other night. And according to PBS, Donald Trump spoke to supporters in Des Moines on January 15th after the Associated Press declared him the winner. Watch this from ABC.
We want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. It's practically never been like this. It's just so important. We have to bring down our energy. We have to, I say all the time, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation anywhere in the world. We want a country of law and order. So we're going to rebuild the capital of our country, Washington, D.C. We're going to scrub those beautiful marble columns and get the swastikas off them, and we're going to scrub them and get the graffiti off them, and we're going to make unbelievably harsh penalties for people that go around shooting. Last week they shot 3 people, and we're going to give our police officers immunity, so every time they do something, they don't get sued and stopped, because the big night is going to be in November, when we take back our country, and truly, we do make our country great again. Thank you very much, everybody. Great honor.
Old school. That's what I'm talking about. Protect the police from the criminals. Make America great again. Amazing. And then I think I saw a report on CNN. I could be wrong about the channel. They wouldn't play Donald Trump's speech. They turned away from it. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know he's going to make America great again. One of those channels, I forgot which one. What a mess. Let me go to Anthony, a first-time call out of Pennsylvania. Anthony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Hey, so I just wanted to thank you because I've gotten my life back, man. I've been doing the silent prayer now for about 6 months, morning and night, and I really was revealed that my mother was controlling me, like, badly. And, since, like, a year or so, I've, moved out. I've been working on me.
Nice.
And I talked to my dad, and he said he just couldn't handle her. And, I forgave both of them. But it's just crazy, like, and I think through the silent prayer and forgiving my mom, I was able to see that my mom was just, like, so controlling of my life.
Yeah.
Like, she would put so much fear and doubt in me. And it's like, I just don't know why you would want to do that to one of your kids, but I understand now. I understand why she did it, because it truly wasn't her.
Right. And they don't have love. They're controlled by evil and not good until they are born again, too, until they return to the Father. And no one ever, as far as I can tell, no one ever told your mother she needed to forgive her mother, return to her father, because exactly what she did to you was done to her.
Exactly, man. So I really just wanted to thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I just feel like a man now. Like I feel like more independent.
Yeah.
I'm very close to my father now, which I never was. Like my mom always made me kind of like resent him.
Amazing.
Growing up.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how it's come full circle. Like I don't know. I love being with my dad now. It's like, it's weird, but because I never did, but, yeah, man, you gave me the tools to get my life back, the true life. And, I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. How old are you now?
I'm 28.
And what took you so long to move out?
So I actually moved out at 22, and I had like something traumatic happen to me. I don't want to get like too in depth into detail.
No, and you shouldn't.
But Yeah, but something traumatic happened within the family, and I had like real bad anxiety over it, basically, and like I was just nervous every day about death and stuff like that.
Right.
And so my mom was like, "Yo, just move back in," and I listened. And anytime you listen to the woman, you suffer, right?
Every time you listen to the woman, you will suffer.
So yeah, I was on a good track, like at a young age. I moved out, a little bit later than I wanted to, but I did move out at 22, and then I moved back in like a year later because of that, thing that happened to me. And I wish I wouldn't have, because I suffered for it.
So what was it like once you moved back in? What was it like living with your mother at that age?
It wasn't great. I feel like, and now that I look at it, I like picture her being like, "Oh, it's okay, honey," like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And men don't need that.
No.
We're very strong. God-given strength. We have God-given strength, and we need to lead the woman.
Yes.
So, it's like it's that's just the nature. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And I realize that now. And but yeah, it was suffering, to say the least. And I'm so thankful I own my own house now.
Right on.
God, through the silent prayer, and you always said, like, I started watching you like probably about a year and a half ago. No, maybe about a year ago. And it took me a little while to get into the silent prayer. And I wish I had started as soon as I met you, but I'm just glad I did it in general.
Right.
But it's so powerful because, like, I now have a beautiful wife that I never, like, tried to get.
Right on.
Yeah. And, like, I quit my job, started my own business about, like, 6-7 months ago. And it's doing really well. I don't try to force anything now, man. I just try to keep it all natural and leave it up to God.
I'm telling you, man, without a doubt, if you let go, just let go and just live your life on a moment to moment, day by day, without trying to make anything work. You can't make your life work. Just live it, and it will happen. It will blow your mind how it will happen. Don't try to be good or bad. Don't try to be rich or poor. Don't try to be anything. Just simply live your life, and it's gonna blow. It's hard to believe with the mind that if you let go of trying to make life work, it works. Because the mind, the intellect, which is evil, have you thinking that you have to make life work or it's not going to work. That's a lie. That's one of the biggest lies I ever heard. But when you let go, it'll work on its own.
Yeah, we have no control, man. When you give up the control and, and stop being of the world, it all comes to you. It's crazy how it works. But, anyone out there that is, like, hesitant trying the silent prayer, like, I encourage you to do it, because it really has, I don't want to say given my life back. It's like a new life.
Yes.
Even though I said give it that earlier, but it's like a brand new life, man. And it's filled with God, and it's filled with it's just natural and organic. I don't know how to explain it. You just let go.
Stay with it, Anthony. Stay with it. Stay with it. I don't care what situation comes along. And don't freak out over the situations, no matter what they might be. Just let the situations happen. You keep moving forward. You'll see, man, your mind will become clearer and clearer and clearer. And once all thoughts are gone, and they will be taken away from you, you have a clear mind, the rest is easy. I mean, it's the thoughts that make people suffer, because they believe the thoughts. But once you stop believing the thoughts, you're a free man.
Yeah, thoughts are of the devil, that's for sure.
They're all lies all the time.
And I say that all the time, too. Anytime, like, I start to feel anything,
yes,
I just say that and go into the prayer, and it just, passes. Just goes right past my my train of thought. But
yes.
Hey, can you give my wife a good what?
What's her first name?
Her name is Nina.
Hey, Nina. What the? Amazing. What the?
Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Stay with it, buddy. Stay with it. Stay with it. A lifetime. Stay with it.
Will do, man.
All right.
Thank you. I wish you well.
Thank you. You too. What the? Amazing. I'm telling you, your only issue in life is thoughts. Other than that, there are no issues. Zero. You got to drop the thought. You got to bring every thought into captivity. Everyone. Super chat.
Super chats.
Ryan bought a coffee. What the? Why are these kids on leashes? Their mamas are Satan. Like Whitney said, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Anytime you see a child on a leash, just know that the father or the mother, because some men are doing this, I guess, they love the dog more than they love the child. They see the child as an animal. They don't love the child at all. Well, put your child on a leash. That's hatred. That's not love. Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee. Had I been in charge of the airline, if you asked the pilot, was she an affirmative action hire before the flight, I would have put you off the plane and told you to walk wherever we're going. This idea about unqualified pilots being given pilot's licenses is fear-mongering.
No, it's not.
Tell me something about that pilot that made her unqualified. Her hair, her color? I thought you said never mind the color, hire the best qualified. You know nothing about her pilot qualifications. You say you agree with hire the best, but you really mean long as you aren't black.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean that make the blacks earn the way. Don't lower the standards and bring them in because they're black and or female. You put everybody's life at risk. What's up? And this the stupid stuff they got going on, making the white man scared and making him get rid of the qualified white people and put in the unqualified black people. That ain't right. And it's not going to work. But thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Cooler bought 3 coffees. I watched the show a day late, so I'm watching Tuesday's show now. What the Hake is going on? Shout out to all of the Hake fans. Shout out to all of the Sandy fans. Who let the dogs out?
Amazing. Yeah, I was on Mama's show. Your mom's house with Tom
Segura
and his wife
Christina.
It was an amazing discussion. Amazing. They treated us amazingly, like they do all people, I'm told. But it was amazing. The show will be aired on Wednesday, next Wednesday, the 24th of January. Thank you, though. And I appreciate Hake sitting in for me. It was amazing.
Greenwald bought a coffee. So you flew to Texas for an interview, and the next morning you're back on the JLP show? 2 words, alpha male.
Just call me Donald Trump. Donald Trump can be in a different city every morning if necessary. Amazing. Thank you.
Mike Young. Hey, Jesse, welcome back. Happy New Year to you and your family. My question is, I would love to have Larry Elder as Trump's VP, and I understand what you're saying, but he has to win the election. It's unfortunate women have become the majority of the vote in America. Abortion is one of the biggest factors on the ballot. So many people suggested that the great white hope President Trump picks a woman to be his running mate this time. So what do you think?
I hope not. We'll see, but I'm not thinking that's a good idea. And I hear that the young, educated white women are definitely not for Donald Trump. You wonder why. They think they're greater than Donald Trump. What? Amazing. Thank you, Mike.
He says, and James Hake, I welcome your input as well. If you want, thank you, Mike Young. By the way, here are my 2 picks, Tulsi Gabbard or Carrie Lake. I don't know, Mike Young. I don't want him to do that.
Right. Neither one of those I would accept either.
But thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
White Line NYC bought another coffee.
We need men back, Mike, so we can bring America back. That's the order of God. We need that order back. Thank you, though. It's not in the woman's nature to lead. She wasn't born that way. Okay.
White Lion wants to answer the biblical question.
Why are you afraid of negotiating? Negotiating.
I'm a good negotiator. Still learning, though. I've been a serial entrepreneur selling online since high school, and thanks to the Obama movie, my electric transportation company launching this summer will be very successful.
Amazing.
But he didn't answer it.
You didn't answer the question. What that had to do with the biblical question? But thank you.
Molly's Faves over on Twitter responds to parents who put their children on leashes are evil.
Right.
In all fairness to my mom, she had to when she went to the store. I was too fast and wild. She was keeping me safe in parking lots.
Had your mama had patience with you, you would not have been too fast and wild. You were only too fast and wild because you were angry. She had imposed her will on you and the lack of love. But thank you.
Ethan bought 3 coffees. Hey, Jesse, I grew up praying at the dinner table every day before we ate as a family. What are your thoughts on that? We're free grace Christians.
Now hear me while I pray. Take all my sins away. Lord, help me this day. I guess there's nothing wrong with it, but the point of prayer means to, before you take the first bite, notice you have the food, be aware of the food there, and while you're eating, be aware, stay present, and so that the food, you eat less, and it will have a different effect on your life. But you do that outward prayer, and the first bite, God is gone. You won't be thinking about God or Jesus or the Holy Spirit or anyone. Amazing, but thank you.
See on America's really gone. Service is gone. I don't enjoy flying anymore. I wanted to be a flight attendant at one point in Mommy Africa. They fail you if you're not the height they want you to be, and I was too short for them, they said. Here right now is who you know, and they will hire anybody, the black and brown mostly.
Amazing. Sion was too short to box with God.
What,
Doc? Thank you, Sion. You're right. Amazing.
White Lion NYC. Hey, Jesse, Lion is male and Lioness is female. I'll be touring the country this summer. Gladly accept an invite from you and each of the experts shows.
Well, send your information to my producer at jesseleepeterson.com. We'll check it out. Thank you.
Sion, many crying emojis. I've got a confession to make, Jesse. Forever love. I'll confess soon. Pink heart emojis with echoes. I'm seeing someone now crying emojis. He loves you and he does the silent prayer. He knows how much I love you.
She cheated on me? You cheated on me?
What, Doc?
I wish you well, Sion. Thank you. Come on, man.
There's 2 more. There's at least a few more super chats to read. Chillin' Lee in a radio show with the tagline "Rebuilding the Man" only dedicates 1 hour for manhood, but has a 3-hour female day. What? Any thoughts on this, Jesse?
It's a mess. Thank you. We got to end it because they're going to cut us off. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Get on the straight and narrow. Tomorrow, hopefully, we got a lot of more things done well around here. We can operate a little more smoother, taking out the old and putting in the new. I'll be back tomorrow if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Bible Thumper Thursday tomorrow. Bible Thumper Thursday. The Hake Report is coming up now. Thank you for your super chats and all that. Take care.
Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Because if you don't, then we lose, and then we got to hear the fake news. Whoa.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Other than sex, I wonder, why would a man even need a woman today? Women don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They're in competition with men. They don't want to be wives and mothers. Some want to get married, but they don't want to live in that proper position of life, because the only purpose of marriage is to have a family, and that's been known forever. And so if you don't want to have children, there is no need to get married. And so I was wondering, why would a man even get married today? I never thought I'd see the day when women would come out of her natural role and be like a man. Even though she hate that role, when she was with a man that's weak, she hate him. But if he try to be strong, she'll stop it. I never imagined that. You're seeing good destroyed and abnormal is presented as normal.